Everyone thinks private intelligence uses polygraphs and psych evaluations to check if you're telling the truth. That's entirely wrong. They actually use those tests to see exactly how good you are at lying under pressure. Day one of my vetting took place in a windowless office in Washington, D.C. There were no clocks on any walls. The examiner was a guy in his 50s who never smiled. He asked me completely irrelevant questions for hours. My high school GPA, the exact color of my childhood bedroom, the street my mother grew up on. Totally boring. He wasn't trying to make conversation. He was establishing my baseline before the real investigation began. They need to know exactly what your body looks like when you're totally relaxed and telling the honest truth. Around noon, he unhooked the sensors and reset the entire machine. He looked right at me and said, "Now I'm going to ask you the exact same questions from earlier this morning, but this time I want you to lie to me, and I want you to make me believe every single word that you say." Let me tell you how this machine actually works. It doesn't read your lies. It reads your physiological fear. It reads your heart rate, your sweat gland activity, and the exact moment your respiratory rate spikes up. To beat it, you can't just tell a fake story. You have to genuinely convince your own body the story is true. When I ask you a question, you need to visualize the fake memory. See the specific details in your head. Keep your breathing locked at exactly 15 breaths per minute. And whatever you do, don't look away from me. He spent the next 3 hours making me invent an entirely new life from scratch while hooked to the machine. I had to create a fake childhood, fake parents, and fake fears. And I had to sell it with total conviction. It's one thing to tell a lie. It's another thing to suppress every physical tell while spinning a narrative. I had to force my breathing to stay slow. I had to manually control my blink rate while looking in his eyes. By 5 p.m., I was completely drained. Every single muscle in my face hurt from forcing my expressions to hold. You don't realize how much physical energy it takes to maintain a perfect lie until you do it for 3 hours. The examiner finally turned off the monitor and started packing up his briefcase in total and complete silence. He didn't tell me if my heart rate spiked. He didn't give me any indication of whether I passed or failed. But right before he walked out the heavy office door, he stopped and turned back to look at me one last time. He gave me a very quiet piece of advice. He said, "I suggest you get a lot of sleep in the hotel room tonight because today was just the baseline. Starting tomorrow, they're going to stop asking you questions so politely."